Not giving God orders, telling Him what to do, how to do it. Rather, God, show me the best path. Show me how to overcome this problem. Show me how to accomplish my dreams. Are you getting your daily bread? Are you checking in with headquarters to get your assignment each morning? Asking God, what is it? Or are you on autopilot, just doing what you've always done? The challenge with that approach is what worked in the past may not work today. Sometimes God will do things a different way. When the Israelites needed water out there in the desert, they were thirsty. God told Moses to strike the rock. He struck it and water flowed out freely. Another time when they needed water, same situation, God told Moses to speak to the rock. The problem was Moses was on autopilot. He didn't listen. He thought, I got this, no problem. I don't need to check in with headquarters. I don't need to get daily direction. I've overcome this problem before. I can do it again. He struck the rock. Same problem, same desert, similar rock, but God had a different plan. God was saying, Moses, just because I had you do it that way last time doesn't mean I want you to do it that way this time. What am I saying? You can't live off of yesterday's manna and expect to have victory today. Yesterday's information may not work today. God is a God of freshness. He likes to do new things. And it's easy to get stuck in a rut thinking, I don't need daily direction. Joel, I've overcome this problem before. I'm going to use the same tactics to overcome it this time. Like with Moses, sometimes the old way doesn't work. You need to get some fresh manna. If not, you'll keep striking the rock when you should be speaking to the rock. It's a small tweak, but you'll only hear it if you're getting your daily bread. Stay open for change. Be willing to try something new. What made you successful 5 years ago may not make you successful today. What worked in your marriage in the past may not work today. Why don't you get some fresh manna? Have the attitude, God, I'm ready for new things. I've heard it said, if you don't innovate, you will evaporate. You can't rely on what got you to where you are to keep you where you are. The world is changing. Somebody wants your job. Somebody wants your spouse. Somebody wants your dreams. You can't afford to sit back on autopilot and just coast, do things the same way. You'll get left behind. The good news is God has daily favor, daily ideas, daily wisdom, daily abundance. If you'll stay open, He'll lead you into the fullness of your destiny. Why couldn't Moses strike the rock again? Worked the first time. It's because God wants us to rely on Him, not some formula. Thinking, well, if I do this and do that and do the other, then God will bless me. If that's all it took, we wouldn't really need God. Just follow these steps for success. Just keep striking the rock. On purpose, God changes the method so we'll have to go to Him for our daily bread. He's looking for people who recognize He's the source of our strength. He's the source of our success. In Him is health, freedom, ideas, abundance. When you rely on Him, He'll take you from victory to victory. But here's the whole key. He may not do it the same way. Could it be that you are stuck? You're not seeing the progress that you should because you're still striking the rock when you should be speaking to the rock? You're stuck in tradition, in the way it happened in the past, trying to duplicate the same way when God is wanting to do a new thing, a new way, with new ideas, with new people, bringing new talents out of you. If you'll start getting your daily bread, listening to what God is saying now, then you'll see that water begin to flow out of the rock in greater ways. David understood this principle. In 2 Samuel 5, he had just been made king over Israel. When the Philistines heard about it, they came down to this valley to attack him. Now, David was a warrior. He had conquered a lot of armies. His nature was to attack. But here's why David was considered a man after God's own heart. Verse 19 says, David inquired of the Lord, shall I go attack the Philistines? Will you hand this enemy over to me? Notice his humility. He didn't say, I got this, been there, done that, no problem. He took time to inquire of the Lord. Before he went to battle, he got quiet and said, God, what do you want me to do? He was getting his daily direction. He didn't assume because something worked in the past, it was going to work right there. He asked a very significant question, God, will you hand this enemy over to me? Seems like that would be a given. He was just put in charge of the Israelites, God's chosen people. Surely God wouldn't let them be defeated. But the fact is, we're not supposed to fight every battle. David was smart enough to ask, am I supposed to attack? He was saying, God, if I go in there, are you going to go with me? He was showing his dependency on God. He recognized where his strength, his favor, his ability came from. And sometimes we assume if there's an obstacle, there's something trying to stop us, there's no question. Get in there and go to battle. God is on our side. But a wiser approach is to say, God, what is your plan? How do you want me to respond to this opposition? Shall I attack or shall I be still and let you fight for me? If I go in, God, are you going to go with me? We've all fought battles where we didn't come out the way we thought. Maybe it was because we didn't inquire of the Lord. Verse 19 goes on to say, the Lord said to David, go, for I will surely hand the Philistines over to you. Once he got clear direction, once he knew he had God's blessing, he went down there and defeated the Philistines. But if we would do like David and inquire of the Lord before we get into conflict, before we make big decisions, go to God for daily direction, for daily manna, it would save us a lot of heartache and pain. I've learned what God orders, He will pay for. But God is not obligated to bring victory to battles that we're not supposed to be in. And yes, God is merciful. Yes, He'll help us. But it's much better to inquire of the Lord before you make important decisions.